All right, should say we're recording. Yeah, we're recording. Okay,
What is
welcome to Rampant, Rewilding, and Catherine's Hand. I don't know what's going on there, but we've got Catherine's hand in the front. And this is our kickoff call. What we want to do is talk to you guys about what will make you most successful during this 30-day period. And I've asked some coaches to come on and explain certain aspects of what has made them successful. And I'm going to let Tom go first, because the first thing that you're going to see is decide, commit, succeed. And that's what he's going to talk to you about.
okay? So you'll see on the Beachbody it says decide, commit, succeed. In 2009, I made a decision based on my doctor's recommendations that I needed to do something. So P90X was in my face for several days, and I decided that P90X was going to be my thing that I was going to do. Then came the hard part, commit. Until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffective. So that phrase kind of sticks with me, because when I started P90, I couldn't do a push-up. I couldn't do a pull-up. The ab work was like unbearable. And so it was like, okay, I'm going to do this 90 days, no matter what. And so 90 days, I went from 245 plus down to about 235 to 230. I said, okay, this works. So I kept going. One of the challenges that I've had over the last 10 years, and it's been too many to count, and I'll put my bio up on the up where you guys can read what's going on. But I had back pain that was excruciating. Couldn't stand for more than a few minutes at a time. Couldn't do a line dancing, which is one of the things that I love doing. And so I was committed, no matter what it happened, I'm committed to it. Long story short, I had back surgery. So I had 8 weeks of basically nothing. So I dialed in nutrition for those 8 weeks. When those 8 weeks were done, then I started back in little at a time, kept going and kept going and kept going. And no matter what, I started a program, got day 1, I got day 60, and everything in between, I hit each step of it all the way. That commitment is what keeps me going. 9 years later, yes, not everybody gets results in 30, 60, 90 days or 120 days. 9 years later, I'm at 185 to 190, maintaining, which is a big thing. So the success will come. You just got to be patient with it. So you decide on a program, you commit, and commit means no matter what, you stick with it. I mean, dog's sick, the cat's sick, the wife's, the kids. I got a headache. I don't feel good. I ate too much last night. Suck it up, buttercup, and just keep going. You will get success. The success is great, and I'm loving that I'm able to live life a lot fuller than I was 10 years ago.
So you're living life on your terms.
Pretty much. I still have some challenges and some setbacks, but the challenges and setbacks are way more manageable than what they were at first. 2 years ago, I had shoulder surgery, so I couldn't do any push-ups or any pull-ups. I'm currently doing somewhere between 150 and 250 pull-ups a week, depending on the week and just how motivated I am. But that's my goal is 30 a day plus added to it. And I'll do push-ups the same way. So it's more than I ever dreamed I'd do.
Yeah, especially for somebody that, when you started, would you say how many push-ups did you say you could do?
I to hit the floor.
Yeah. Do you hear that? Are you see? Do you understand?
Or
I'm staring at you guys.
literally, I hit the floor and I went, shit. Because I could not push myself back up.
Hit the floor. Hit the floor. I said 4. I thought you said 4. And then you said, I hit the floor. Right? Okay. Yeah.
I forced, but every day. The first day I did kind of one. Dropped to my knees, did whatever it took. And Tony's, come on, you can do it. You know, do your best, forget the rest, and keep going.
That's good. Thank you. I did have, when Kendall was going to talk about what physical changes he's seen since he started his transformation and how it has affected his life and his confidence. So we're putting a bookmark there. Wendy, you're going to talk about what has been the most exciting thing about your fitness journey and using Beachbody products and workouts.
Well, I started off with saying no. It was too expensive. I had every excuse under the sun. And this lovely coach, Tom, talked me into it and said, I'll just give it a try. Come on. And I finally did. And I'm so glad I did, because I really couldn't run anymore. And that was the one thing I really loved to do on high school and all through, God, years of running. And I had a kid and I kind of lost physical shape and I just couldn't do it anymore. I gained some weight and I got into this program, and it was about a year. I added walking to it as well, the shakes, and I've added a few of the supplemental things like the greens is a big deal because I don't eat enough. And the collagen, obviously, oh my God, my nails are long. They've never looked like that ever. Energize, definitely a must. That gets the blood flowing. I notice a huge difference in my legs when I start off on anything I do. It's all of a sudden I have the energy and the ability to do it. And the shakes are a key to that too. Nutrition is a huge deal to me. I feel like I've got way more energy. Look at me, I'm talking like 5 miles a minute. That's not me. I used to drag. I used to barely get out of bed. It was hard to get up in the morning. Setting that time aside in the morning or whenever you're going to work out is important. You go, this is when I'm going to work out every day. No excuses. Nobody gets in the way. I'm not going to do any housework. I'm just going to go and I'm going to do this every single day. And then it gets done. Keep the goals going, you know, like I did with the walking 1 year. And then I started to running, and then I was kind of run walking. And then finally I'm running again, but it's like, wow, huge deal. That's the biggest change I saw. And I was just like blown away by it because I never thought I'd ever run again. I have so many friends my age who say, how do you run? And I'm like, just do what I do. You'll run.
Yeah. So the important thing is that you start slow. Yep. And you move towards your goals. Now, what I want people to note is that she's working out in order to do something else that she loves to do, which is running. This is something about cross training. And I'm going to let Catherine move on to where I'm segued. That segued really nicely to her section of this call, which is really about how to use your program the best way possible. Some fun little things like about periodization and your fitness goals, how it pertains to sports, rewilding, and what our new prompts are going to be and why. All right, I'm going to mute myself so she can say that.
Okay. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm having some trouble with my phone, which is why I'm in and out. You talked me up a lot there. So Carla asked me a few questions the other day, and one of them was about a concept called periodization. And that is mainly, so where I learned it was in my exercise science associates in an athletic performance class. And so specifically it applies to athletes and the periods in which we train athletes to work up to a singular point of peak performance. And so if you're training for a marathon, you want to make sure that the marathon that you're competing in is the one that you're the best at, rather than exhausting yourself through training and then having an injury or coming down off of your peak because There's a lot of things that go into competition. And so Carla's challenge to me was to relate that to non-athletes. And if you look at any of the programs, they are structured in a way that any professional athletic trainer would structure a program. So they're designed by, you know, people who are very knowledgeable about exercise science. And that's one of the things that's really important when you're doing a program is to, if you're really looking for results, not pick and choose. So I like to throw in some extra yoga, foam rolling, whatever else. But the way that the program is designed is to build on top of each workout and each phase. So you notice there's phases and there's all this stuff. And the way that you build from, sorry, can everybody hear an echo? Just me. Okay. The way that you build from a simple exercise, from strength training to more complex movements it's important to have that variation and that kind of pyramid where you're going from something that's simpler and more accessible to something that is more challenging and at the higher, they call it the STOKED principle, which is specific adaptation to impose demand, if you want to get into the science of it. But really it's just making sure that your pyramid is not top heavy, or like you're not starting with the hardest thing first where it's going to just fall apart and you're not going to feel successful and it's going to be really, really challenging. You wouldn't start with the last workout of a program, say. But you also want to make sure that you're getting results. And so that doesn't mean going into the middle of each program, because you're not going to build that pyramid in the right way that it's been designed to be built. That's the best kind of like addition between those things I could think of. And then the other thing that Mom wanted me to talk about is how this challenge is going to be a little bit different. Previously, I did a lot of kind of mindset stuff and some nature journaling stuff. And this time we wanted to focus more on ramping up your fitness through rewilding. And so there are some great movement philosophies that I want to introduce you guys to that I really enjoyed. I might reference MoveNat a lot. It was started by Erwan Lacour, who is a, you know, amazing parkour gymnast athlete. And it's basically finding ways to incorporate primal movement and to reclaim our primal bodies, because a lot of the movement that we had instinctively has been lost. So the video I posted, he talks about the instinctive movement, that really it's just the most efficient movement. And so our movement has become very inefficient because our muscles and ligaments and our bodies are not adapted in that way anymore, because we have so many things to support us, like the couch that I'm sitting on. I don't need to be active or move efficiently because I have all these props, all these aids. I have shoes that support my feet in a way that they don't need to be strong. They can be lazy. And so what we want to do is find ways to reclaim that movement, reclaim that strength and mobility, and incorporate it into our daily lives as modern, some people call it zoo humans, because we're kind of in this zoo that we've built ourselves of luxury and comfort and light and heat. And so, yeah. Well,
thank you. And I want to make a little point that I noted when Catherine worked on different things like grabbing rocks in the rock pit and throwing them with your feet, moving things with your feet, and making sure that this is one of the reasons most of my workouts I do barefoot. Because she worked on that, it was easier for my feet to adapt to the silks when I stood in them. The first day, I told you, oh, this hurts. Well, my feet adapted very quickly, but there were students who did not adapt quite so quickly. So I was able to explain to them, well, this you need to walk a little bit more barefoot. Let's get your feet used to this. There's also something called scraping. There's all kinds of different things that can help with foot mobility. So I do want you to understand this is very, very, very important, and it's applicable in many aspects of your life. The last thing I wanted to talk about, thank you, Kat, by the way, and we'll pull back into some of what I was asking you about. But the last thing we wanted to really emphasize strongly is that your nutrition is extremely important. Do not ignore the nutrition plan, okay? Every program comes with a nutrition plan. Every single program has its own specific way of using the nutrition plans, and there are a couple of different ways that you can make sure that you're eating properly. There's something called a 2B mindset. There is also something called the ultimate portion fix. We personally do a little bit better. Kat and I do a little bit better with the ultimate portion fix, but I mix some of the information that I know from the 2B mindset to help people kind of, I don't know, I call it a hack. Hack yourself into losing fat a little faster. So I'm not going to go all the way into it, but you do need to go through and watch those foundation videos. Watch them and make yourself aware of what your nutrition plan should be, and plan what you're going to eat ahead of time. Even more important than that is how much water you're drinking. And I mean pure, clean water. Right? Okay. So pay attention. We're going to be posting about how much water you should be intaking through the course of this course, basically. And if you have any questions, come back to us. We'll go over it a lot more in depth. Know that in things like the ultimate portion fix, they have done a lot of math behind the scenes. So if you're just super stoked and excited about doing math and going and doing your research about what kinds of micronutrients you want in your macronutrients, and you want to do all that, sure, you're crazy. I'm sorry. That's just too much work. Just trust that it works. I do have, I'm going to share my screen in a second here. My friend Judy Fitteran, that Kat and I know, I'm going to share my screen. Let's see if I can get my screen to share. Yeah, there we go. Share.
Wow.
See her right there? She's lost a great deal of weight, and she is up for the $100,000 prize.
I voted for it.
We get to, yeah, for the Beachbody Challenge. So the very last thing I want to say is, yes, you can do it. You can do anything. She's 60 something. I forgot her age. It's because she doesn't look it. Look at her. She looks amazing. And she has lost this amount of weight in her 60s. Okay, so don't give me any excuses. I don't want to hear any excuses. You can do it. You can do anything. And you might possibly win $100,000. Kat, about the prompts, you said you were going to be giving us some different kinds of prompts. Some of them were going to be in video form. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's all I really wanted you to know. Is there, are there any questions from the people who are on the screen?
Yeah, I have one thing to add,
Sure.
and that is, I was 52 when I started. I'm 63, and I'm not going to slow down. I'm going to keep going. And the days where it seems like, I got the devil on the shoulder and the angel on the other one, and they're going, you don't need to work out today, or you can't do pull-ups. It's the one that says, you're done? No, you're only 80% done, or 70% done. You're not done. You think you're done, but you got 40% more is still in the tank, so don't quit now.
Yeah, I like that.
It's all up here.
By the way, I did a little graphic. The angel on one side was Drea, and the devil was Tony. I have to find that graphic now. All right, you guys, we love you. Let's go do this. You can do anything. You can do everything. And comment below. Comment below once you've actually seen this, because I'm posting this in our group. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Thank you, coaches.